Welcome back after the lunch break. Now, I take the opportunity to introduce our next guests for the day, Mr. Lijo John and Mr. Tarak Trivedi. Sirs, may I have the permission to please begin? Thank you, sir. Mr. Lijo John is presently working as product manager at firstcry.com, developing a go-to market strategy for rolling out the new features and product for the company. He was previously working as head of product management at Blue Verve Consulting Inc. He is a member of AIPMM, the Association of International Product Marketing and Management, a certified Scrum Master and certified Scrum Product Owner. Sir completed his BCom from BYK College of Commerce and later on his MBA in Marketing and IT from the ICFAI University, Dehradun. His skills includes product management, marketing and selling skills, business and client development, market research, account management, etc. Our second guest, Mr. Tarak Trivedi, is currently working as a senior product manager at firstcry.com and is responsible for handling search framework on all platforms like desktop, mobile sites and mobile apps. Previously, he had worked with prestigious Unifor software system as product manager, where he was managing product life cycle, driving product releases and launches by working with cross-functional and cross-business units. He has also launched a flagship speech analytics product, Omina. He has also worked with prestigious companies like Motorola Solutions and Cognizant Solution in the beginning of his career. He has also shown his skills as an entrepreneur by launching his own company, Zektraka, which is based in Pune, providing solution for high-end retail sector. He completed engineering in electronics and communication from the University of Pune and further his masters in electrical and computer engineering from University of Florida. Now I request sir to kindly address the batch.
So I am Lijo. I kind of manage the product team at First Cry. And what is it that you want to? So to be really true, I came to know that I have to come over here yesterday. I don't have any slides, nothing at all. I'm just going to speak to you as, so the first thing that I would want to understand from you guys is what is it that you want to know? Is it about e-commerce or is it about product management? It's just e-commerce? Okay. So what exactly in e-commerce? What do you understand by e-commerce? Can anyone tell me anything? You can speak, guys.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
My name is Priyanka Gupta from
Yes.
Rajasthan. Sir, I think it's the trading of goods and services, online trading of goods and services.
Okay. And why is it booming now? Like a lot of people, so while coming over here also, Ankit also told me, why do you think it is booming? Tell me, anyone. Guys. Okay, one second.
Sir, because of mobile networking sites, social sites, Facebook, Instagram.
Okay. All right. Tell me. Can I have a mic here?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
My name is Tushar Tawar and I am from Alirajpur, Madhya Pradesh.
Okay.
And sir, the reason is because at a one place you can get the several things. You don't have to go here and there to search for one product and other product.
Okay.
So it's a really booming sector because you can have the quality, different prices, different variety at a one place.
So basically all in one store.
All in one store.
Perfect.
Thank you, sir.
One other thing. This is the last one. Okay, there's one more person.
Good afternoon, sir. My
Yeah.
name is Pooja Patel. I am from Damoh, Madhya Pradesh.
Yeah.
And e-commerce is booming nowadays as lifestyle is changing day by day and technology is upgrading day by day.
Okay.
That's why the individuals are looking for the latest technologies and the online shoppings and everything on social medias. That's why e-commerce is booming nowadays.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Jayant Chandrayan. Sir, nowadays, time is everything. It consumes.
Okay. So once again, everything is boiling down to convenience. How many of you shop online? Is it only convenience? Discounts, right? Discounts is one of the other major factors. So two things that comes into picture is, one is discounts and the other one is convenience. And that's it. That is what e-commerce is. When it comes to e-commerce and when our role as product guys, you see a lot of stuff on the site that is there. होम पेज पे आज ये बैनर चल रहा है, tomorrow there is something different. After that you visit some places, all of a sudden the next time you come in there's a different set of things that you see, right? Those are all creations of logics, and those things are something which is done by our team, which is the product management team. And product management, actually speaking, the reason why I did not actually get any presentations or anything with regards to e-commerce is just this much. So before joining e-commerce, for me, e-commerce was always a 5-page website. Homepage, listing, product, cart, checkout. Done. But then when I got into e-commerce and when I saw what e-commerce is, that is when I came to know, dude, this is way too bigger than what I actually see, because there are like hundreds of systems that are actually controlling that 5 pages that you normally see in front of you. And product management, so that was about e-commerce. And the second thing why I did not get any presentations was, first thing, time was less, I could not. And second thing was, product management is not something that can be taught. I learned it the hard way. It's purely about connecting the dots that are there. You need to understand your user first. You have to understand your technical team. You have to understand each and every department that is there inside that company. We are in the middle. We are not people who create magic. We are just people who coordinate and help things work smoothly. That's about it. So right from PO generation system to any system that you speak, there will be some or the other person who has put in some thought why it needs to be there. And that's what product managers do. And so basically when I started off, I was a technical support guy. And it was just by merely understanding what a user wants that I was able to convince my tech team and put value proposition in front of my business team, stating that, okay, dude, we need to build those things for this particular reason, because this is going to give us this value. So that is precisely what a product team does. And this, a lot of people, there are courses actually that teach product management, but then what they teach is basically how you can write a specifications, how you can prioritize stuff, how you can give points to various tasks that are there. These are things that they teach. But then you need to have that innovative mind to actually, and that openness to understand users. Because if you don't understand users, without users we are nothing. If we don't get the some odd lakh traffic to our site, and if we don't have an understanding ki, unko kya chahiye, what is it that they are looking for, if we don't know that, then it basically does not make sense for us to be there. So our primary thing is understanding the business requirement, so that when the sourcing team or the merchandising team as a team, they come to us and tell us कि यार मेरा सेल 1 लाख का है, मेरे को उसको 2 लाख पे लेके जाने का है, कुछ तो भी करो. मेरा ये प्रोडक्ट है, वो उसको no one is seeing that product. What do we do? So these type of things, if we don't listen to them, if we don't help them fulfill their needs, then no, we don't work then. It does not work at all. So we are the people who helps the business attain their goals, the user attain what they are looking for, so that they get whatever they are wanting as soon as possible with the least amount of clicks, and we are happy. That's what product. देखा है कभी साइट फर्स्ट क्राई या Amazon? चलता है अच्छा? Amazon चलता है? First cry, so I don't think that anyone of you would use it, but then still, you use it. Wow. Okay. Good. One customer. That's just kidding. But then, so that's what this entire thing is all about, and it's a very interesting job because every day you are working on something different. You are innovating stuff for users whom you don't even know, and those people are using it, and when in the end when they use it and you see the results, it's beautiful. That okay, मैंने ये बनाया था तो इसके वजह से इतने लोग आए is something that is amazing feeling. So that's how it is. So if no one has any other questions, I would like Tarak to take over so that he can give you more insights about data, and that being one of the most integral part of what we do. That's like very crucial, very important when it comes from my perspective at least. ठीक है? Good? Good. Thanks guys.
Hi guys, happy to be here. My name is Tarak. Thanks to Indus and the staff here for calling us. I'm sure, Lijo has explained it extremely well and precisely what is e-commerce, what is product management, and all those who are here, I think you have a very bright future ahead of you. E-commerce is actually booming. Don't listen to any rumors or there's it's not working, etc. There is consolidation, but it's actually very much there and growing year on year. So just to allay your fears. Great. So obviously Lijo talked about how do you build and create a great e-commerce website. My question to you guys, how do you build a winning e-commerce website? So probably e-commerce today, I think you summarized it extremely well, all of you guys. You need to have a great app, excellent website, all your products should be of great quality with fantastic images listed. But is there anything that is next slide, just go with the next slide. Yeah, but am I missing something? So we are into a kids domain, but am I missing something? Is because even an Amazon, even a Flipkart, or a Snapdeal, or even a any other e-commerce company today, they are doing equally well, right? They have great websites, they have great products, shipped very well, premium products, great prices, fantastic user experience. But is there something missing to build a winning e-commerce website? Can anyone? I think Lijo mentioned it, but I don't know if you had picked it up or not. Anyone? Okay, let's go to the next. Yes. Tell me, yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm
Yeah.
Tulika Shaha. I'm from Kolkata, West Bengal. I think the return policy should be good.
Excellent, excellent. That is another differentiating factor that should be taken. Great.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Sir, the customer satisfaction should be a reason.
Excellent, excellent. Customer satisfaction is also a key element of today's e-commerce. That's why you see some e-commerce getting way ahead of the rest. Yes. Anyone? Okay, so the real answer to this is this light bulb. What does this stand for? Next slide. Right? Unless you innovate, sustainable competitive business growth in an e-commerce is not going to come, and that's where Amazon and Flipkart are so good at. Right? There are e-commerce companies who are still building great products, but the level of innovation is not quite up there, right? And some e-commerce companies, as I mentioned, Flipkart, Amazon, Snapdeal, have gone ahead simply because of this single piece of information, which is innovation. You have to constantly innovate yourself just to keep yourself in the competition, not even get ahead, just to keep yourself in the competition, because the day you stop innovating, you're going to lose out in the market. Next. Right. So I'm going to talk about why that innovation is important. So data-driven product innovation is important, and of course projects at FirstCry, so far with Lijo's help and his team's help, what have we so far achieved, and at every element why that innovation factor is so critical is what you'll see. So yeah, next. So before I even start, does anybody recognize this image? Yes, anybody? This is a very telltale image of something which really happened in our history and was the turning point when I talk about the keyword data. But anybody? So what you see is, this is a chessboard obviously, but this is a match of Gary Kasparov versus a computer called Deep Blue by IBM, right? And what happened was in 1996, now Kasparov was champion for almost 19 years. He was world number 1 in chess, right? And imagine that feat, when you're world number 1 for 19 years and suddenly one day you play with a computer and that stupid computer defeats you. This is your reaction, right? I mean, that's how history unfolded itself on that day. So it's a 1997 rematch, by the way, when Deep Blue actually defeated the computer actually defeated reigning champion Kasparov. And the audience members also were, some of them were really happy, some of them were frustrated, some of them were puzzled. So this was a remarkable picture in history when data science, machine learning actually came into the front, and told that, hey, we are here, and although it's not going to replace human beings. So again, trying to allay your fears that okay, some things are going to replace. No. Okay. Next image. So he said, never experienced anything like this. I could feel, I could smell a new kind of intelligence across the table. So that was his reaction when he actually lost this match. Yeah. Right. So this is, don't look at the chart and numbers, but this is just an illustration as to how it's all done at the back end. So you see a nice widget at the front end, which is great, but what is the theory and the logic behind at the back end? Is this what boils down to? It's basically finding correlations between subcategories, categories, brands, types, and then finally matching them with a visual guide towards it, and so on. So this is just an illustrative example of what data science can actually do at the back end to make sure your user experience upfront with that widget frequently brought together is at par with the industry standard. So that's why Amazon has taken lead, Flipkart has taken lead, because they have huge data science centers and servers and capacities where they can churn petabytes of data together, figure out the patterns, and then precisely give you the correct product for the right customer at the right time, at the right platform. So that is the level of depth that these e-commerce players are going. It's a cutthroat competition. If you are to survive, you have to innovate fast, right? Next slide. Okay, this is a layman's guide to, we've used certain algorithms, there's a business processing layer, there is a personalization layer, there is a history behind it, and so on and so forth. So don't delve into, okay, this is an architecture, but just take a leaf out of this, that the architectures could be as simple as this, or I could show you another slide which is 100 times more complicated with parallelism, with latest technology. I don't know if you've heard about Hadoop, right? Some of these technologies are coming up front, up core, and capturing this data. So yeah, next slide. Next slide, yeah. Okay. Another widget. So this is another widget which says you may also like, right? So if you've seen something, you may also like to see certain set of products. So if you've seen a nice sleeveless white frock, you would also like to see another sleeveless cotton white frocks in your widget, and that will help you choose decisions. So again, it's all about customer experience, and believe me, again, this is automated. Nobody sits behind and puts these products manually. It's completely data driven to its last end, and we are constantly improving algorithms so that the relevancy of these products is at its highest. And again, if at the cost of repeating, that's where some of these companies have actually taken lead in personalizing these widgets. Yeah, next slide. Okay, so what is personalization? So this is an overall, I'll give you an idea about how an e-commerce site like an Amazon, like a Flipkart actually does it. It actually captures user activities. Okay, user activity could be purchases, right? That's historical data. Okay, if I purchase something, then the next day I could be shown similar set of products or a complementary set of products. That's historical purchases. If I've shortlisted, if I've recently viewed something, so on Amazon.com, if you see couple of watches, okay, you see a Titan watch, you see a Rolex watch. Next thing that you see on the front page after a couple of hours is they say some watches recommended for you based on your viewing history, right? And that is where the game is, trying to personalize each and every element, right from a banner to a button to a widget to a white space. Everything would be personalized based on the user activities and behavior. So at First Cry, of course, we are trying to profile these users into, as Lijo mentioned, discounts are a great proposition because that attracts the users today. So we are trying to classify whether the user is a coupon cashback lover, whether he's trying to use various coupon codes, or whether he's specifically looking for a particular gender, or he's only looking for premium products. First Cry, we're trying to build kids fashion category. We have a lot of premium products, and Carter's is one of our the most valuable product. So we are trying to pitch, and we are trying to see the look of how personalized widget would be for a user who is profiled, let's say, as a premium product for only, let's say, girls, right? What are the sort of products that I can view? So that is the level of user profiling projects that we've kind of taken to the next level. Yep. So next slide, please. Okay. So again, just to cut it short, don't worry about the images. As I mentioned, profiling is basically trying to segment them into age groups, trying to segment them into genders. What is the kind of colors that they like? So that is another important. Kids fashion, we've seen parents buying specific set of color, let's say a maroon color for the kid throughout the life cycle of the product. Now, isn't that amazing that if you have that knowledge, you can pitch exactly those products which are of the same color in the same segment, and then push those products with a certain set of discounts, and that's how you increase your footfalls and then conversion. So all these attributes that a user, the footprints of a user that he leaves, when he comes onto our website or on the app, is all captured, processed, pre-processed, modeled, and then finally deployed into production mode. So this is the level of user profiling and personalization that at least we at FirstCry are trying to achieve. We have got at some stage, hopefully we'll even improve it in the next level. Yeah, next stage. Okay. Now another of a key data driven feature that I want to talk about. You've seen, I'm sure all of you would have, you have bank accounts, be it ICICI, HDFC or any other bank. Today, the level of customer service expected from any bank, especially in the banking industry, and now big time catching up in the e-commerce industry, that level of service should be 10 on 10. Nothing, not even 9.9 won't do, because customers don't want to wait for call centers trying to answer their queries, and a lot of times you've heard the standard same aap Qatar mein hai, and please wait for, you are the most valuable customers, but please wait for 30 more minutes, is what today telecom companies will try to tell you. So again, this is that level of innovation which I was talking about. A virtual assistant which will help, okay, in the e-commerce industry, it's going to help you shop around the website, answer all your queries. Okay, so if I want to say, get me a white nice summer frock for my 2-year-old daughter, I just type the statement here, and bam, it knows exactly what you want. It will show you precisely those selected 10 choicest frocks that you want, and you can then purchase it. So that is the level of response and the customer service of a given app that is expected. So we are progressing here as well, and probably in the next release as well, you can actually see some of these features go live. So this is, again, what is this? This is completely data driven, right? Whenever a user starts typing a query, that query is going to get captured, and every intent of the query is going to be broken down into various segments, and every of those segments, their intents are going to get captured, and that intent is then mapped into the system. System is churning that data and then giving the output. Okay, so it's not rocket science. People have done this, and we are in the process of doing it. So that is the level of, again, data driven innovation which I was talking about, is what again sets e-commerce company, a winning e-commerce company, from a normal e-commerce company. Yeah, next slide. So when it comes to marketing, so I know most of you folks are either in the marketing space, or finance space, or even an HR space, and you may or may not have heard, but recency, frequency, and monetary, RFM analysis of a customer and customer life cycle to be analyzed. So we have been doing stuff like this, right? We are trying to segment users. Apart from personalization, we've been trying to segment users based on their recency of purchase, based on their frequency of purchase, and based on the monetary value that they bring, right, when it comes to purchases. So all these three factors, R, F, and M, define how a user is, in one of these 4 segments. And obviously everybody wants to go up into the segment which is highest recency and highest frequency, right? You want your customers to visit your site time and again, and also purchase it time and again, right? If he's purchased, let's say, 10 products in 1 month, and then he never returns for the next 10 months, you don't want that. So we are trying to, again, this is again a data driven project where industries are trying to really laser focus targeted customer acquisition through some of these projects, and the communication would go through either a email, it could go through a push notification that you see on your mobiles, or it could go through a desktop notification, or an SMS, as simple as an SMS. Even today SMS still works. People are saying, okay, it's a WhatsApp age, so SMS is out of fashion. But no, SMS at the end, when I get a confirmation of my order, I still look at the SMS and say, okay, I'm relieved that the order has been shipped, right? So technologies are here to stay. They're not going anywhere. If not, they'll get improved, day by day as you speak. So yeah, next slide. Okay, and lastly, if I want to talk about data science and machine learning, everything is incomplete if I don't talk about big data, right? That's finally the missing piece in the puzzle today, right? This it was a boom like 4 or 5 years ago, and then suddenly it stopped, and then suddenly people realized, no, it's actually a boom. We need to still use data because that's our bread and butter, right? And so then they classified as 3 V's of data, big data, and 4 V's of big data. But in a sense, this kind of summarizes. This kind of summarizes what is important, right? Volume. Today I'll actually give you a case of the next slide, but the volume of the data is really important, from megabytes to gigabytes to terabytes and petabytes. So that's how one dimension we are increasing. The other dimension that we are increasing is velocity. Today generally banks and other companies, okay, we do operate on transactional data which are months old, okay, but when we move closer to time, closer to near real time and actual real time, that's when things start getting interesting, because customers don't have patience. Today you see, even in the telecom industry, the moment you pay your bill, okay, sometimes what happens is you immediately start getting some offers, maybe some calls, etc. So near real time data analytics is a field which again classifies you as big data. And of course data variety. You have social media, you have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, data, unstructured data, structured data, data from variety of sources again coming into the picture, and companies are actually taking all these 3 dimensions. There's a 4th dimension which is veracity. It's not mentioned here, but data veracity, how truthful your data is, whether it has missing values, whether it has corrupted data, whether it's an outlier, etc. But these are the 3 major forts of classifying this as big data. Next slide. So that is the kind of, so this is basically technologies that are getting used. So at First Cry, we want to take a lead in not just giving great service and products, but at the core of even the technology aspect, we are trying to take a lead. So obviously you would have heard about some of them. Hadoop, Spark is a new one, but that's picking up. It's great right now. My favorite is R. That's at the center. And of course Python is there, and we use a lot of Google Analytics. I think Lijo would know. Google Analytics is one tool where it gives you the data. If you are able to make sense of that data, good for you. If not, then it will give you next day some different data where you can still go back to the previous day and make sense. And finally, even the cutting edge, there is a small icon. I hope you know what that icon is, right? The last icon. It's an Excel sheet. It's the good old Excel sheet. I would like to say no technology is too big. Even your common sense and good old Excel sheet can actually do the trick for you. You need not be knowledge of all these technologies. You need not be a super coder or a skill or a technical guy. Even marketing folks and finance folks today, still today, they swear by Excel sheets that this is the only tool that is going to help them and give results. So make sure that okay, in the end, technology is great, platforms are great, we're making great products, but in the end is just this simple common sense that is actually going to prevail and making sense of what data that you're getting. So yeah, that's next slide. I think that's about it. Okay, this is a meme. So the baby actually says, "I want answers," and call the data scientist right now. So thank you very much. I'm really happy to be here. If you have any questions, let me know right now, so we can have an interactive question answer session. Else we can. I hope Lijo has answered most of your questions, I guess. It's 3:30. Yeah, we can take probably one or two questions. Any questions? So, how many of you are into marketing? Okay. How many of you are into finance? Quite a lot. Great. And how many of you are into the HR? I mean, human resources. Awesome. Awesome. Great. So I think there's a fair distribution, although slightly tending more towards finance, I'm seeing, but there's a fair distribution of people. So all of these techniques. So it's not just one data set or one technique or a tool that is going to be the holy thing that is going to revolutionize. It's all these. It's an anthill, right? If you've seen an anthill. All the small peripherals around it, and then they slowly build up the anthill, and then you can reach the peak, right? It's not just one thing that helps. All right, great. I think you guys have been really sporty and interactive. Thank you for calling me, and it was a wonderful experience interacting with you. And I would like to thank directors who had made it possible for us. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir, for clearing our doubts about e-commerce and making us familiar with the role of product management and data scientist. I'm sure with this session, the batch has learnt a lot. Now, we take a short tea break and be back soon.